This object is approximately the height and width of a pop can, though it is slightly taller. It is very lightweight, even lighter than a cell phone. The top section features holes, indicating that it is not a sealed lid. The object can be disassembled into three pieces, and the largest yellow component appears to be designed for filling with a mixture of water and vinegar, as suggested by the words printed on the back. Any ideas what this thing is? This is an angry mama, used for cleaning microwaves. Take her hair off and fill the first line with vinegar, then water. She's microwaved for a few minutes, and the steam that is released through her head holes help loosen dried-on crud inside of the microwave. I found this item in a parking lot. The 6 knobs on the right control the smaller knobs on the left and can be secured in the 4 position using a pin. The overall length is 100 millimeters, with a 16-24-60 split among the tip, stem, and knobs. The width measures 32 millimeters with the knobs, 18 millimeters without on the body, 4 millimeters on the stem, and 6 millimeters on the tip. The material appears to be steel, with one row of knobs exhibiting a brass color. I am uncertain about the appropriate keywords to use for a Google search. Any ideas what this thing is? This is the Ford Tibby Door Lock Master Decoder tool. It was inadvertently left behind by an individual who was involved in thefts from vehicles at the mall. I found a small, cylindrical metal object on the side of the road. It features a glass encasement in the middle and has a hole that passes through its center. It appears that it may have contained a liquid at some point, although I could be mistaken. I attempted to identify it using Google Images, but was unsuccessful. I also consulted my father, as I suspected it might be a car part, but he was unable to identify it as well. While some numbers are visible, the majority have worn off. Anyone know what this is? It's a broken cannabis oil vape cartridge. The glass tube is shattered and mostly missing. I found a small metal object shaped like an acorn in a garden bed outside an old schoolyard built in 1840 in New England. This item is approximately the size of an acorn and features a rounded, smooth point at the bottom. I showed it to my uncle, who is a metal detecting enthusiast, but he was unable to identify it. His best guess was that it might be a toy top. We also considered the possibility that it could have hung from a string, similar to a plumb bob or weight, but there is no hole present for threading a string through the object. Any idea what this is made for? It's a Nova hybrid dowsing pendulum. The Nova pendulum is a good pendulum for therapeutic and everyday use. It is a safe and gentle pendulum, similar to the Isis with a strong, energizing, and rejuvenating ability. The pyramid shape inside brings in cosmic energy, and the rings around it multiply its strength. This metal thing is relatively heavy for its size. I would estimate it at about 2 pounds. The top half spins freely and has excellent bearings, so it will spin for quite a while when spun. On the bottom is a threaded post, so it must have screwed onto something. There are either wires or maybe just solder that are cut on the bottom. The top half is mostly a copper color and has small pock marks or dents in some places. It has a white cap that is smoothly joined to the rest of it and does not look removable. The bottom is a more gray color with no dents, but it does have circular indents that look like maybe it could have attachments of some sort. Anyone know what this is? It's an old ball motor. You could hang them, trying to mount them, and they can do stuff like transmit power to rotary tools and otherwise. They're usually AC brushed motors. I found this in a box of assorted items. It appears to be a gadget or tool of some sort, made of small dark orange molded plastic, with teeth designed for a specific purpose. It is attached to a ball chain keyring. Any idea what this is made for? This is a vintage toy puzzle keychain featuring a Mexican riding on a donkey. It is part of an old puzzle keyring that assembles a figure of a man wearing a sombrero on a horse. This piece represents the man, and the middle section clips into the horse. I found cast metal tools featuring freely rotating discs and spiked wheels. The item weighs approximately 2 kilograms and measures 14 inches in length. It appears to be quite old, but there are no identifying marks present other than the N01 cast into the handle. Any ideas what this thing is? This is bench grinder wheel dressing tool. I found a wall-mounted metal object at Hohensalzburg Fortress. There were 3 or 4 rooms containing these items, none of which had accompanying explanations. Each object was elevated off the floor and resembled a metal box enclosed in a cage. They were uniform in size, measuring approximately 20 centimeters in width and depth and 50 centimeters in height. While I would like to speculate that they are radiators, my understanding of the historical context indicates that only a few rooms were heated, primarily using catchalofens or underfloor heating in the party room. Any ideas? These are pretty much radiators that were filled with embers and/or hot stones when needed. It's fed from the other side of the wall. One service room could have several ports into these radiators to feed several different rooms with heat. Many are far more ornate than this one. Given the simple nature of this one, this was probably not a room for the wealthy family, but perhaps an important level of worker. Maybe a military room? I bought this item several years ago without knowing its purpose. I was simply drawn to its aesthetic appeal. The central globe component is designed to spin and is weighted at one end, ensuring that it consistently settles with the 10 facing upward. The numbers range from 10 to 130, increasing in increments of 10. The base is made of wood and features a felted bottom. While most of the item is constructed from metal, the globe has a slightly pliable quality at the sides, resembling a thin, embossed aluminum or tin. Its approximate dimensions are 6¼ inches in length and 3¼ inches in width. What is this? This is a thermometer. Look at the number where it aligns with the convex or upper portion of the plane. That should be the approximate temperature in Fahrenheit. Do not spin it because it would mess with its accuracy. It is simply a ceramic mug I found at a thrift store, featuring an unusual addition, a smaller basin attached to one side. It did not appear to belong to any set and lacked any inscriptions. Any idea what this is made for? It's for tea bag. Place used, tea bag in little cup. Take a swig of tea, the tea bag falls out of cup and slaps you on the forehead.